Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the Obsbot Tail 2. It's a game changer for small YouTubers and content creators, and if you're looking to expand your reach with a more professional PTZR production camera system, then you're in the right place. So let's get going. Now, this camera is amongst the finest streaming cameras on the market with some very unique features that will appeal to all levels of experience. However, if you're just getting into content creation, then this advanced kit might be a little extra, not only for all of its rich features, but the overall cost to get rolling. Now, for streamers, this awesome device can polish your casts with color accuracy, clarity, manual and automatic camera settings, composition, and compatibility with multi-camera switchers and professional broadcast equipment. This is where having a healthy budget will be necessary. I'm only brushing the surface when it comes to streaming and broadcasting because I don't do much of either. I'm going to soon, so why would Obsbot create such a device? Well, they're expanding the possibilities of production value in a rapidly evolving niche of social media, commercial venues, and professional broadcasting. I mean, we all know that's where it's all going. Now, when comparing against the Obsbot Tail Air, they made some very welcomed improvements. You don't have to buy the PoE adapter that costs $100 because they implemented it into this device. But the NDI license is still something separate that everyone must buy regardless of your camera to unlock that protocol, and it's also $100. Another great feature that they added to the Tail 2 is they did away with the single multi-port where you needed an adapter for the USB-C port data and the second for power. Now it's all in one. So you get two ports built in. First, the most important quality is with the video. It has a 1/1.5 inch CMOS sensor, 4K 60, 1080p at 120 frames per second, that's going to be helpful, a 50 megapixel photo sensor, 5x optical zoom, 12x hybrid zoom, and it can instantly switch between vertical and horizontal recording that is controlled inside the lens module, hence that R that we were talking about. The quality of this video is absolutely insane, and my favorite part is you can frame yourself with the AI features and it'll track you and keep you framed up for the entire duration of your recording. It has a maximum ISO of 6400, so you don't have to worry about all of that grain. With an aperture of 1.8, the only thing I would like to see is a 10-bit video and some log profiles. That would be very helpful, but I'm sure they'll get there. It's not a deal breaker for most users because computers require more power when working with more advanced codecs and compression, but since I do a lot of video, it's become a standard practice, at least for me. Since I make drone videos, having my portable cameraman is great. Everything I need to make drone videos has to be light, portable, and easy to set up. I used to hate vertical format video because I didn't take much of it seriously, as I found myself sometimes too busy to make a full-length YouTube video. I then began making shorts, and they sure helped me deliver my message to my audience, so now it has become more of a necessity for my workflow. For everybody's workflow. Having that internal rotating camera mechanism that you can change with the app to get vertical or horizontal framing works awesome. It's flawless. And it's great to be able to utilize this feature when you need that extra oomph to increase your workflow. And yes, it tracks when in vertical orientation. The app, called Obsbot Start, is very intuitive and allows you to stream remotely from the field or from home using either Wi-Fi or cellular data. Upon connecting to your Obsbot Tail 2, it'll ask you which use case will suit your scenario, Wi-Fi or cellular. Once connected, you get a myriad of accessible features such as camera control, composition control, audio. This is the audio with the DJI wireless mic 2 set going straight in via 3.5 millimeter jack. AI feature-rich tracking and quick response times. It's absolutely amazing. Now, the build quality in this thing is fantastic. I no longer will refer to this as a streaming camera webcam because I looked at it for the first time and said, that's just a piece of glass. That is glass. You know, you refer to professional lenses as what glass are you using? Well, this is one of them. It's got a sturdy metal build quality for the actual lens casing and very sturdy molded plastic around it. But if you were wondering whether or not it's spun all the way around, it does not. But it does do about 320, maybe even 330 degrees, which is still better than what we had before. It's kind of heavy, but it comes in almost 2.5 pounds. This really does feel like a very professional camera with the weight and the build quality, and it's just a solid piece of gear. The internal battery in this will also sustain you for about maybe just a little bit over 5 hours. If they put the LAN port on the inside, and it's got the PoE LAN port, so you don't have to worry about buying the adapter as I mentioned before. And then you've got the audio in port, you got mic in, you've got line in, and then you've got a full-size HDMI port on the outside, and you have an in and out port of RS-232, and then you have the 3G SDI port, and of course I said the LAN, and then you have a data port for USB-C, and then you have a power port for USB-C. On the side, you get the micro SD card, and you saw the snap. I don't know because I did that on purpose so you can see it pop out, but very well-built spring inside of it, so you got to be careful when you're in the field. If you remove that, it could go flying. And then it's got the cooling ports on both sides. So any kind of camera like this, especially as such as this, that processes so much, is going to need cooling. And they took care of that too. Now, one welcome feature, and they had this in the other one too, is having these notification lights on it to tell you the status of your camera. So as I mentioned, I do a lot of drone videos, and this thing's the best assistant because I can keep myself framed up through the app. It'll keep everything in sight of everybody. I've got myself framed up from head to toe, so when I can move around or step back, and I've got it set on medium tracking speed because I'm not doing a sporting event. I'm not going to be running circles or anything, and it's perfect. I like to keep my camera under the shade though, because dadgummit, it can get hot, and just like any camera, it can overheat. Now, it does do everything that it can to keep it from overheating, but no camera is perfect when it comes to temperature. Now, there are 3 major hand gestures that if you talk with your hands, you can actually affect your recording, because one of them is start and stop, and that's holding the OK symbol to start and stop recording, and the indicator lights on it, which there's a whole list of them. I'll put them up here on the screen so you can check those out here in a second. You know, you've got your framing where you can zoom in and out if you use the L bracket hand gesture, and then you can also use the, like I said, the OK symbol, and then the palm of your hand off to your side will tell you to start or stop tracking. And wherever you have your framing set up on your me mode, then it will maintain that through the duration of your recording. Home point updated. But this is amazing to have when you're on site, different locations, and you're trying to showcase the venue. It's a necessity to have an assistant such as this one. It's a very windy day today, so I don't want to go too far, but I do want to get this video out to y'all. But absolutely beautiful today. It's a little overcast. Sun keeps peeking through. And we'll bring it in, and down we go. Let's go back inside. It's hot out here. Now, as you can tell, there's just so much to cover in reviewing this amazing device, so it just makes sense to discuss some everyday amateur user experiences such as mine. But YouTube University has everyone covered and can pretty much teach you everything you need to know about this camera. Some of the things that I don't like particularly about this is the cost. For this much tech, when using it in a pro atmosphere with a crew and production team, having multiple cameras such as these is probably perfect and probably very affordable. But it's extremely nice to have a more polished and reliable recording assistant for all of my drone videos. I just can't see me spending this much for a device for a small channel. While I'm thankful that they sent this out to me to review, I can't justify it for the following reasons. And one, there's no flat profiles. And with no 10-bit video, it makes it a little different from the rest of my cameras. And two, kind of hard to justify when you probably already have a camera that can go on a tripod or a gimbal that can track you, because there's so many companies out there that have the gimbals and the tripods like Helms and Insta360 and DJI that you might already have those things that can still suitably do what you need it to do. And three, the setup for streaming and utilizing different protocols for whatever filming environment is a very large learning curve. The multiple steps it takes to implement it into your workflow to go into a streaming program like Obsbot, and there's a ton of videos out there that I've watched. Man, they just get so into the weeds. It's like, I shouldn't have to work that hard to make something this expensive work well. Now, if you're a sound engineer and you work on a production crew, then this probably isn't as intimidating and it's quite manageable for you. But for me, it's a bit overwhelming. The fourth thing that I really don't like is it just gives me anxiety because it probably does more than I'm giving it credit for. Now for the things that I do really like about this, and I know I complain about all the protocols and how hard it is and the learning curve, but when I'm not using it in that realm and I'm outside, it's just a click and shoot. It's so simple to use. The setup is a breeze and it's easy to transport. I just keep it on the tripod most of the time anyways. Having that phone capability to frame and utilize streaming functions are effortless. Since I have this one and its predecessor, I can set up multiple cameras when making videos that showcase our 3D printers, which is, yes, something new to the channel that we are very excited about. The drone and camera industry is filled with helpful 3D printed aids to assist you, and I have a few helpful creations that just might benefit you. So please make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you got anything out of this review, please make sure you hit that like button. And if there's anything you wish to see in the future, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good day.